If it's a day called today, we're talking guitars and life. Let's get into it.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of Ted is Off the Road. No, not really, guys. It's Ted Talks Guitars and Life. Jack, what is going on, man? What do you guys got going on in your neck of the woods, man? What kind of guitar projects you doing, man? Put it in the comments, man. Let's have some fellowship about guitars and life. Well, my friends, you are looking at the STRICH SST-S10 guitar that was sent to me for review. The past couple of videos on the STRICH have been basically work vids. One was under the hood where we assessed the components of the guitar, and the second vid was doing some neck work, and so we have copacetically completed that. Today what we're going to do is we're going to be putting the body back together. So I've been thinking about it, man. I am fresh off the road from my travels this week. It is a holiday weekend. That'll timestamp the video. This is the Friday before the holiday. And so, yeah, man, I was working on some stuff, getting ready to, and I thought, man, let me just fire up the old camera here and talk to my friends about guitars and life, Jack. Yeah, my friend. So I've made a couple of determinations. One determination is I'm not going to do anything to this guitar except put it back together. Now I am, because when I was taking the plastic wrapper off and adjusting the tone knobs and all the things that you do, by way of, I don't, by way of adjustment, I just mean putting them back on where they're parallel and all those kinds of things. I was about to put this back in the body, and my ground wire for the output jack popped off. So, so I've got my soldering iron heating up copacetically over here because we are going to have to solder this ground wire. I believe that it was right here on top of that pot. There's a little wire sticking out here. And so we will reattach that. We will wind these up. Then we're going to use the old output jack that came with this guitar, Jack. Yeah, man. I have decided that I'm not going to throw any money into this STRICH guitar beyond what we've done. And the only thing that we've really added to it, beyond doing a lot of work to the neck, is that I did decide that I would put a red Guyker bone nut in replacement of the nut that was, oh man, if you saw the fiasco of how glued that nut was in that guitar neck and me trying to get this thing in there, a Guyker ET4636 in red. Yeah, I just thought I'd put a little bit of splash of color on it. I don't know, it's probably going to look janky, but that's just the way it is. I'm not going to touch up. I mentioned in the under the hood vid portion of the vids that there are little scratches in the finish. Came that way. I didn't do that, but I'm not going to be resolving that or trying to get all the scratches out, all those kind of things. I did think what might be helpful is to resolder the body, get it all back together. I've resisted the urge. I was going to. I have not. I was going to take a sandpaper Dremel tool and get all this wood out of here. I have decided that would be a waste of my time. So I've got other projects I'm going to work on, and so I want to get this one under its belt, my belt as it were. So I will take my file and I will file down this neck pocket a little bit in the work vid that'll follow this these comments. I will solder up everything. I will use the original old output jack. I will bend this one point of connection in so that that guitar cord will seat really well in there. Although I don't like those, I prefer a pure tone output jack. I'm just going to rock and roll the situation. Then we're going to put the guitar completely back together, and I'm just going to do some sound samples. Unfortunately, because the guitar came unplayable, we weren't able to get tone samples of what it sounds like. So I'm going to put it back together completely stock by way of electronics. One upgrade I'm going to make, because I feel like I have to make it, is I'm going to be replacing the stock tuners. I've got some Tease, thank you Torsten, some Tease ST1 18 to 1 non-locking tuners. T sent me over some of those a while back. I'm going to be putting a set of those on the guitar neck. I may or may not replace the string trees with some barrels or something like that I've got laying around the shop here. I kind of stocked up, so I have a little bit of abundance of these roller string trees. I might do that. I just think, you know, guys, more than likely I'm going to move this guitar on. It's not going to live in the shop. I'm not going to keep it for prosperity or anything. I may donate it to someone. I may sell it on the marketplace for a little something something. I don't know. But these string trees are, whoever's going to get this guitar next, I don't want them to inherit those. So, all right. Oh, by the way, if the guys at Stritch are listening, maybe one minor upgrade you could do is some better string trees, better tuners on your musical instruments. That would be good. And I didn't like tug on these wires, but the ground wire just came right off in my hand. So anyway, just a little quality control kind of thing, and firming things up. All right, guys, I've got my soldering iron heated up, I believe. So we're going to get to soldering here, working on this body. And man, I really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out today. Special shout out to the Jacks, our channel members, and for all of you for spending any time at all talking about guitars and life today. Man, I pray that whatever it is you're doing today, you're surrounded by people who love and affirm you, baby. Yeah, man. People who get you, you know what I'm saying? People who affirm you, encourage you, champion you, make you want to be a better version of you, Jack, because that's what all of you are for me on this channel. I thank you so much for hanging out. All right, guys, why don't you run out to the kitchen, grab yourself a Diet Coke and some popcorn, and let's get into it, man. We got some work to do. Yeah, let's do it. Well, my friends, just a couple of fun facts. Fun fact number one, I did all that soldering. I've got my iPad connected to power. I hit the cord, it moved the camera, so you didn't get to see everything. I do apologize for that. We don't hide our mistakes at TED Talks Guitars and Life. The yellow wire was the ground to the claw, not the blue wire, so I did copacetically handle that. Fun fact though, I've never seen this. I've never seen the screws holding the bridge down coming through the other side of the body like that. Can you see that? Look at that. That is just wild, man. I've never seen anything like that. Anyway, first time for everything. I did copacetically take my level and flatten that neck pocket out. So I feel pretty good about that. So now we're going to put the guitar back together. Normal things up. Stand by. Well, all right, my friends, as I mentioned, we are not going to be making a lot of modifications to this guitar. Yeah, I don't know the longevity of it. So I'm just doing a couple of things that I know that I would feel better if I were to pass this guitar on to somebody. I would want it to have better string trees than what were on it. And, you know, string trees are fairly inexpensive, so I don't mind bearing the expense. put these on them. Man, I need a different screwdriver. Yeah, that's the ticket. Anyway, I don't mind doing things like this, particularly even if I'm going to sell the guitar. You know, you might think, well, Ted, why, if you're going to sell it, man, why are you doing that? Well, guys, you know, man, it's within my power to pass on a guitar to somebody that is a little bit better than when I got it, man. I'm going to take the opportunity to do that. I surely am. Is it necessary? You know, I don't know, man. It could be argued that none of this is necessary. But I just really think that I'd like to be a blessing to somebody, man. I don't want to cause anybody any grief about it, you know. All right, I'm going to normal that up later. Once I get strings on it, I'll check the placement of those, make sure they're perfectly aligned before I take them down to the nub, as it were. Yeah, man, I was really kind of surprised that I could see the screws inside that body that were holding that bridge plate on. I've never seen anything like that. Have you guys seen anything like that? Put in the comments, man. Yeah, I thought it was kind of unusual. Anyway, I'm not saying anything bad about the guitar or anything. I just thought that was really, really unusual. Well, guys, when we get the stritch done, we've got several projects coming down the pipe here that I need to assess what's going to be next. Maybe I'll make a video where I thought about just do a vid where I got all my parts out. Yeah, we went with a Guyker red bone nut. It's not perfect. It doesn't look fantastic, but like I said, guys, function over fashion is my thing, and I prefer functionality over fashion myself. So these are the Tease tuners. These are 18-to-1. They are not locking, but they are, in my judgment, about 100 times better than the tuners that came on this guitar. So I don't know, man. Whoever ends up with this can decide to do whatever it is they want to do with it, but these loosey goosey things, man, I just couldn't do it. Yeah. So, you know, man, it's all about what somebody digs, you know. So for me, I dig tuners that are a little bit better than the ones that were on here. So we'll go with that, man. Yeah, man, I was really sorry that we couldn't do a live on Tuesday while I was in Kansas. It just didn't work out for us. And I appreciated everybody, man, who reached out to me about the theme music that I created for future lives. I just wanted to put the theme music out there to kind of see what you guys thought about it. But yeah, so what happened is I was watching Snug. Hey, shout out Snug. Yeah, man, you guys go. I'll put a link to Snug's. Well, anytime I give anybody a shout out, man, I always put their channel uh, in the description below. But Snug did a vid, and he was talking about AI and the use of AI, and he even showed like him asking AI to make him some pictures and do some thumbnails, and he mentioned a way to create AI songs. Suno, I think it is, Suno. I think that's maybe how you pronounce it. Suno, I don't know. So I thought, man, let me do that. Well, I went out and I asked it to create a song for me, and it did, but I couldn't download it. I don't know if you need to be a member or pay for it or whatever. And anyway, my daughter, man, has a buddy, and he had made he makes songs all the time on it, and has like the professional pro grade account or whatever. And he said, well, Ted, here's what you do, man. Go out to Chat GPT and and ask it to create a Suno prompt. And then, you know, whatever style of music you like. You could even put an artist in there if you want to, you know, in the style of Leonard Skinner or, you know, whatever, Allman Brothers, whatever you guys dig, Metallica, whatever. Ozzy, it doesn't matter. And so it created like a paragraph. It was a prompt for me that I could put into Suno so that it would create the music. And Suno did create lyrics, but I didn't like them. So I figured out that what I could do is I could click on one of the links and I could write my own lyrics, or I could, you know, get rid of what they put and do my own thing. And so that's what I did. So Brant, I know you were asking me about that, and all credit to Snug, man. I'd never known anything about Suno if Snug hadn't mentioned it. Thanks, Snug, for that. Man, I really do appreciate it. I really, really do, guys. So yeah, so that's what we did. And I appreciated those of you who reached out and gave me any feedback at all about the theme music. And I know, man, does Ted really need theme music for his lives? Well, he doesn't. But I have noticed that, you know, a lot of you who hang out with me on the regular are used to me trying to go live. And I go live, and then for like, I'll spend a minute going, can you guys hear me? Is my mic working? Is this thing operational? You know, all the things. And so I just thought, well, when I watch Oob, man, Oob has all this like pregame vids out there. And maybe I could just do a little pregame vid. And so that's what I did. That was my only thought about it. I don't need theme music. I don't need walk-up music, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I thought it was kind of fun, and so I did it. And I appreciate the feedback about it. And I mentioned in that video as well that the trucker hats are in. And so, guys, what I started doing, and by the way, one of you reached out this morning and let me know that you bought a coffee mug. Man, I appreciate that. I appreciate the merch buys, and all of you who are getting shirts and mugs and hats or whatever it is you want to get. And just know this, man, when I put a product out, I usually order a sample of it to make sure it's good. So guys, please, if you get something from the merch store and you don't like it, please let me know. I had one shirt that was out there that I've taken down since because I ordered it and I really didn't like it. And so I made it unavailable to you guys. So I want to make sure that whatever it is you're going to purchase is at least decent. So I did get the trucker hat and I like it a lot. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. So here's the trucker hat. So the challenge with the trucker hats previously were my logo, TED Talks Guitars and Life. They couldn't get all of that embroidered. I don't know, the letters were too small. I don't know. I did it like 6 times. And all 6 times they emailed me back and said, this, you know, here's an alternative. So what I did is I created TED Talks Just Guitars without end life. So I think it's pretty good. It snaps in the back. It's a Richardson brand trucker hat. I don't know if that means anything to anybody. And it has replaced my favorite ball cap for right now. I also got some trucker hats made that don't have straps. They're fitted, kind of one size fits all. And it's pretty cool too. I don't have it handy or else I would show it to you. Okay. All right, guys. Well, the only thing I need to do now is put this guitar neck on that guitar body and do some setup stuff. And again, we've got to come back to the nut. I've got to make sure that my nut slots and my height and all that is copacetic, but without having strings on it, I really can't tell what we need to do for sure. So I'm going to be doing that. All right, guys. Well, man, it's quite the journey with the old stretch guitar. Maybe if I don't dally, we'll be able to listen to some tones in just a minute. All right, guys, stand by. By the way, guys, you know, in a lot of the kit guitars that I've had come through the shop, like the Leos and other things, the strings are just all balled, not they're not balled up, but they're wound together. Stritch, shout out, man. This is really great, particularly for an electric guitar that's for a beginner. Having these individually packaged strings that are labeled, man, I think that that is a touch of class, man. That is going to be really helpful for a beginner. Now, are the strings any good? I don't know. We'll have to see about that. But in terms of the packaging and helping the beginner to know which strings to use, guys, that's a great thing. Shout out, Stritch. Good job on that part. Well, all right, my friends, we've got her all strung up. So from here, I've got several things I need to do. I don't think I'm going to clip these strings just yet because I don't know if I'm going to have to take these strings off again, and I don't want to mess with the length. Again, these are the extra strings that Stritch put in the kit, so we'll see if they're any good or not. So from here, what I've got to do, oh guys, was nobody going to tell me I'm missing a screw right here? Come on, guys. You know, I saw an extra screw and I thought, what is that for? I guess I could have looked. Anyway, so from here I need to set the guitar up. The way we're going to do that is we are going to be thinking about tuning the guitar up, which it is in tune. And it is mostly intonated right now. However, I need to deal with that nut. That red bone nut, as I knew it would be, is entirely too high right now. So I'm going to be for filing that nut down, and when I get that copacetic, then I will come back and I will tune the guitar. I will make sure that my relief is where I want it ultimately to live, for my player preference anyway. And that's about right where it is. And then we'll look at the action, and the action right now is pretty high, mainly because my nut is high. And the saddles, they're up a little bit. We might need to shim it. We'll figure that out. Then we'll come back, we'll do intonation again, and then the last thing we're going to do is revisit that nut. So I've got some work to do here. I'm going to get after it. And I really do hope to offer some tone samples here in just a few moments if everything goes smoothly with the setup. Yeah. Does the setup ever go smoothly for Ted? Well, sometimes, guys. We'll see if this old stretch guitar is going to fight me or work with me, baby. Yeah, man. All right. That's what we're doing.
As always, wherever you are in your guitar journey, man, I pray it's a long, smooth, safe, joy-filled ride for you, Jack. Rock on with your best selves, everybody. Catch you down the road.